everyone, it's Sharonda from Pay Your Weights, and today I'm going to be reviewing Euphoria Season 2, Episode 8, All My Life, My Heart Has Yearned for a Thing I Could Not Name. We are at the Season 2 finale of Euphoria, you guys. It was emotional, it was a lot happening, there were cat fights, okay? There were shots fired, all right? There were lines drawn in tonight's episode, but first of all, I'm so sorry that I'm late getting this out to you guys. Because I didn't get the episode ahead of time, I wanted to dedicate, time to do the live right afterwards. So I'll link the live that we had earlier. Child, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning right now. But I'll link that for you to watch as well. But it's a lot I gotta cover and I gotta catch this flight. So let me go ahead and get into the episode. So I find it very poetic on how the episode Season 2 premiere, started with Fez's story and then how we kind of get the ending, or I guess the new beginning, because Fez is definitely going to be a new person going into Season 3 after what happened with Ashtray. And so I got scared, okay? Because, the leaks, people were saying like Fez is going to die. And I was just like, say it ain't so. But when they started the episode and they started delving back into Fezco, I was like, y'all, I think my homie not gonna make it past this episode. And it was getting really tense, okay? So he's trying to head to Lexi's play, and we kind of pick up where we left off in last week, where, Custer comes over, Ashtray got a box cutter, because he always ready to kill somebody for some reason. Like, we really needed to send Ashtray to therapy and have him work through his anger issues, because we probably wouldn't have found ourselves in the situations that we were in if we didn't get he just acts and doesn't think. He don't think. He ain't got no common sense, okay? He ain't got no common sense. So, when Custer is like, hey, we need to talk, the cops found Mouse's body, and then Faye was like, she dropped her glass, and then when she picked the glass up, like, Fez looked down at her, and she was like, and so, she tipped Fez off. Who would have known that Faye was going to be a real one and let Fezco know what was happening with Custer, okay? But when he started talking about it, and and Faye was like, I thought it was Lori the drug dealer. I thought Lori killed him. The drug dealer who lives in the apartment complex off Kempler. I said, Faye, spill all the tea, why don't you? You might as well just talk about how she used to be a school teacher, everything. Custer looked at her like, Beesh, what is you doing? And I was like, Faye, please keep going, okay? And so before Fez could say anything else after he told him, like, hey, I think it's time to leave. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Child, Ashtray come with this damn box cutter, stabs the dude in the throat. And I'd be like, Ashtray, why do you do the things that you do? So Fezco has to act on his feet. Fezco goes and holds Custer's mouth where he ends up choking on his own blood, dying. And he tells Ashtray, like, hey, you need to go surrender yourself to the cops, because we see that Faye's seeing the cameras go up. So we know that the police are surrounding them because they were listening. He even told Ashtray this after Ashtray stabbed him, looking at his phone. And so he throws the phone in a cup of soda. But it's too late. The police are already there. He tells Ashtray, you need to go surrender yourself. Like, I'll take the blame for everything. He wipes the knife off. He puts his fingerprints on the knife so he could take the fall for Ashtray. But Ashtray just wasn't having it. And I was just like, oh, okay, he don't want to leave his brother. But then when Ashtray started going in the laundry room and getting all these guns, I was like, hold on, wait a minute. I thought he said surrender himself, not go get some guns like you finna do a whole standoff. I started getting confused. So I'm just sitting up here looking shook. I'm sure Faye somewhere looking shook like she always looking shook. And then Ashtray knocks Fezco out, locks himself in the bathroom. And I was like, wait a minute, what is happening? The cops bust in, boom, 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 boom. They walking in, the SWAT team is in. I'm like, oh my God, what type of show was we on now? I thought we was just getting ass and titties and peas. I mean, this is like a whole different show right now. So we see that they come in and, they got guns out. Fezco banging on the door like, Ash, come out. And he was like, they bust in. He was like, don't shoot. He's just a kid. Don't shoot. So he trying to back up. I'm about to have an asthma attack, so I'm getting my inhaler at this point, because I was like, Sam, like, you got to tell people when you gonna snatch their edges and wigs off and cause them to need their inhaler, that all of this was gonna happen in the episode. So, child, why Ashtray started shooting? I said, bruh, what? Why are you shooting? Why are you shooting? So then they start shooting back. They hit Fez. So Fez, I'm like, man down. Fez sitting up here bleeding, touching his stomach. Then they open the door. I thought they didn't kill Ashtray because they went back and forth for a good little minute. Child, why the police open the door? Ashtray is on the floor. I'm like, oh, dang. Ashtray gone. My homie dead. But then he come up and then shoots the officer. And I was like, Ashtray, was this necessary? Did you need to shoot the officer? Because at this point, when you shoot a cop, they gonna kill you. And what happens? Child, you see that line go up, the little red dot go up to his head. They turn to Fezco. You hear the gunshot. Ashtray dead. But you know what? This just didn't make no sense to me. Like, riddle me this. If you guys weren't implicated, like on the thing, it's clear that Faye said Lori is the one who killed Mouse. Like, they were like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And so why would Ashtray go and kill Mouse or Mouse? Well, he killed Mouse too, but Custer for no reason if they're not implicated. I just feel like it's just weird how crazy he was. I felt like he was more chill first season, but I guess now because he killed Mouse at the end of the first season, so I guess he ain't never been chill. But it just didn't make sense for him to do all of that if they were implicated because they never said that they did anything. So I was just really confused. Now, we do get to see some lighter moments with Fezco and Lexi talking. And I like the conversations that they're having. You know, she asks him, does he think about the future? He talks about how he wants kids. He wants to live on a farm. And I love their conversation about social media and how in order for you to have an attraction to someone, like, or to be in a relationship, like, you don't have to have the same things in common. I feel like it's fun when you meet somebody who introduces you to new things. Like, y'all don't always have to have a common ground. And to be honest, I've dated people where, you know, we have the same interests, and sometimes I just want to talk about other things. Like, I don't always want to be into what I'm into. I just want to talk about something different. But I also liked his whole thing about how he doesn't have social media because, you know, people on social media, they remove the mystery behind things. People overshare, and there's no way, like, you can't have that fun time of getting to know one another. To be honest with you, like, the back and forth, them going back and forth talking was cute, him getting her to watch Little House on the Prairie. But to be honest with you guys, like, I feel like we got a little shortchanged with was it Fezzy? I don't know what y'all call him, though. Whatever y'all call them. But I feel like we got shortchanged because if they started talking after New Year's, I don't understand why we really waited until the last few episodes to really get deep into their relationship. I think that's one of the issues that I did have with this relationship is I wanted to see more of this stuff, like, throughout the whole season and not just towards the second half of the season. Because at this point, it just feels out of place. Because it's like, I mean, it just felt out of place at this point because all this stuff is happening with Fezco and Ashtray. And it was just hard for me to really let that stay with me. I don't know. But let's talk about Cassie crazy behind. Because, you know, at this point, Lexi keeps checking her phone trying to see if Fezco is going to show up. Obviously, we know why he's not showing up. But she doesn't know that. But we see that Cassie, you know, in the last week's episode, Nate said, pack your stuff and get out of my house. Not his house, but his mama's house. I don't know how you be inviting people, kicking people out of a house that you don't pay the mortgage on. But that's a story for a different day. But Cassie, baby, the way that Cassie was breathing so hard on this damn door that I thought I was breathing hard. I said, damn, is that me breathing? And then I looked up, I was like, oh, damn, that's Cassie breathing like that. She done got me thinking that I'm breathing hard. So Cassie she got that look. This is when the you know, part of the exorcism, when the demon is about to come out, he gonna just have his last try at taking control of their body. That's what was happening with Cassie. The demon was present. It wasn't Cassie anymore. It was whatever the demon called Nate that possessed her. That was the demon that was showing on her face. So she walks down and child, she done stepped on the little playbill or life. Baby, when Rue saw her, she was looking like, ooh, I know that girl finna do something crazy. Her mama looked at her like, I know my daughter 8-ish. I know she finna do something crazy. Child, she go on the stage, start slow clapping, talking about, Lexi, you outdid yourself. You know, where did you find these knockoffs? Talking about the the double girls, the fake versions of them. And so she brings Lexi on stage. Lexi trying to tell her to stop. You know, Bobby in the background, she was like, don't question what's happening right now, Lexi. This is the brilliance of Lexi. I said, Bobby, you better stand Lexi. She just, baby, Bobby don't be fazed by nothing that's happening, okay? So the mom comes on stage trying to break everything up. You know, Cassie's upset because she's like, wow, it must be so hard having to live in my shadow. And, you know, just going on and on about how Lexi never lived life and how it's not fair for her to be judging Cassie because she's lived and she hasn't. And so whoever said show your boobs, they going to hell too in the audience, whoever said that. But when Maddie started calling, when Maddie called her the C word and then Cassie said it back, and then when Maddie was like, wait a minute. First of all, Cassie attacked fake Cassie. I forgot the girl name. We gonna call her fake Cassie, okay? I know y'all gonna check me in the comment section, so whatever. So Maddie goes on stage saying like, this B needs to be put down. I said, beat her ass, Jay, beat her ass. But you know, BB was actually in the background giving us the commentary that we deserved this entire fight. So child, they start chasing each other. Maddie slapped the hell out of Cassie, like she slapped the taste out of her mouth. Then so then we see her, she gonna try to make a run for it outside of the damn stage. She ran into the hallway. Baby, when I say Maddie caught up with that girl and grabbed her and smushed her into the wall, I said, honey, I said, Sam, that fight was not long enough. You know, Cassie, this should have been a straight 10 minutes of Cassie getting her ass beat for all of the foolishness that she's been doing this entire season. So I thought it was interesting, you know. I like how her mom tried to defuse it. She told everybody to close the stage. But we see towards the end of the episode, we go back to Cassie, who at this point, her hair disheveled. She got a bloody nose. Maddie's sitting up here with this damn Coke bottle on this little bitty scratch on her foot. Ain't nothing else wrong with her. So I think it's weird that Cassie wants to, I guess, try to make them feel sorry for her. I don't know what the hell Cassie be up to or what be going on in her demon-possessed head. But when Cassie was like, what's funny is Nate broke up with me before this even happened. And baby, Maddie said, don't worry, this is only the beginning. I'm just like, Cassie, like, you have literally seen everything Nate put Maddie through. Why do you think this is the end? Like, why can't you see this is just not healthy? But it goes back to her daddy issues, her abandonment issues, and how she just has this desire to be loved, no matter if that love is toxic or not. And so I know a lot of people were upset about Cassie's storyline for this season, but I think it totally makes sense with all of the traumatic events that have happened to Cassie. McKay not wanting to be with her. Not really not wanting to be with her, but the fact that he didn't want her to have the baby. It's a lot that Cassie has actually been through, and I'm definitely not justifying anything for Cassie, okay, because she still needs the exorcism. Well, I think Maddie gave her the exorcism ass whooping to get that demon up out of her, but I think it's still there. But you know, it sucks that you can tell Maddie's really hurt by this. But I think it's a natural progression, like the whole pick me type of young lady. I mean, it makes sense for Cassie's storyline. I personally don't want to see Nate and Cassie for next season. I just truly don't want them to focus on Nate and Cassie. I'm so over Nate and Cassie. I can't take no more of Nate and Cassie. But while we talk about Nate and Cassie, let me talk about Nate raggedy ass. So, child, out of nowhere, you know, Nate left the play after he cursed Cassie out and told her to move out of his imaginary house because it's really his mama's house because she paid the mortgage, she don't. Wow, like the popos are out like this at 5 o'clock in the morning? So disrespectful. So, all of a sudden, Nate got a gun. I'm like, where is Nate? Why is Nate loading his gun? Like, what was the purpose? And then he, like, goes to Cal. Cal living his best life in his community. I said, baby, you better live your life to the fullest, honey. And Nate was like, you're not going to give me a hug, Dad? And I was like, no, Nate, have I ever seen y'all hug in an episode? So he asked Cal, like, is he happy? And he was like, in some ways. He basically tells him, like, you know, I'm just like you get off on, you know, we both share common ground on getting off on hurting other people. And, you know, he tells everyone about the tapes that he found when he was 11. And he basically tells his dad, like, you don't get to just blow our whole life up and go live your best life. You don't get to be happy, hoe. You think I was finna let you be happy? Oh, hell to the no. So Nate, you know, Cal told his friends to leave, and then Nate was kind of just like, Cal was like, I'm sorry, I love you, like, I'm sorry for not protecting you, I'm sorry for messing you up. But Nate pulls out the gun. He talks about, I don't want your love, he was like, I don't want your apology, I want revenge. I said, child, this boy is not finna shoot his daddy. Like, I just don't think you have it in yourself, Nate. But he pulls out a thumb drive, child. He done snitched on the chief about what happened on the tapes. He put all the tapes on the thumb drive, had the police come. Cal talking about don't do this. And then the sheriff come, and I guess the sheriff's not Derek, so that whole fan theory is gone. But they arrested Cal. But he was like, you're never going to change. I'm just like, but Nate, like, you're never going to change. This whole part didn't make sense to me because in the previous episode, there was a voiceover on how Nate wanted to protect his dad because ultimately it was protecting him because he didn't want to be the son of a pedophile. I don't know, because everything that happened at the play made him just want to blow everybody's life off, because I guess that was the purpose of him saying we get off on hurting people. So maybe Nate said, F it, like, I'm not going to let him be happy, so let's just F up both of our lives together. I'm not sure, but I'm interested to see, like, what his mother's reaction is going to be to that, because I'm pretty sure she's not going to be okay with that. So I would love to see the fallout from that, but I also don't feel like Nate's dad is going to be in jail. Cal not going to be in jail like that. Like, his privilege wouldn't allow him to do that, so I don't know. But let's talk about Rue. So Rue stops by Elliot a few days before the play, and she said she came to tell him to F him for being a snitch. But she says, like, you accidentally saved my life, because she wouldn't be able to tell him that she forgives him. And, you know, she has so many I'm sorry's, but few to little I forgive yous. And so she's happy that she had the opportunity, you know, to say that. And they kind of have a conversation. You know, he asks her if she clean. She says yes. And she asks, is he doing anything? He's still on drugs. And she says she's not going to say anything. But Elliot asks her, like, do you think we could be friends? But she was like, I thought you said we weren't good for each other. That was the first thing that Elliot had told her. And he was like, I still don't. But, you know, it seems like they're in a good place. He played a song for her, which was really pretty. But I see that everybody was upset about how long the song took. Let Dominic go ahead and show y'all that he can sing too. Y'all stop playing. I personally I will say, I feel like the Fez stuff should have happened at the end, because to be honest with y'all, after the whole Fezco Ashtray stuff happened, I was just like, I don't even care what's happening, because I just need to know what's going on with Fezco and Ashtray. So it was hard for me to, like, stay in it. So maybe this did need to just be towards the end, because I couldn't focus or care about anybody else's storyline after all of that mess happened. So I'm going to say that maybe that's why the people were upset about Elliot singing the song. They said it went on too long. But we see that they stare at each other. They catch a glance with one another at the play. They stop, you know, and they go back to watching the play. But I really love how Sam writes about grief, because to hear Rue talk about how she had to witness her dad die, you know, when the EMTs came, like, it took me back to, you know, my brother from another mother when he passed. And, you know, I can remember that day so vividly, like almost as if Rue was kind of explaining, like, what had happened in my own life. And I love the conversations that, you know, she has, like how they go between the play and real life, how we see that, you know, she says that she wanted to believe that losing her father was a part of a larger story that she can still shape. And to see Rue crying, to see Jules getting choked up, to have people finally get a look inside of what Rue has been internally dealing with, because I don't know if she hasn't talked to anyone about it. I really love how they went between the play and real life, showing, you know, the relationship between her and Lexi. Like, we finally get to see, because Rue is sober, we get to see that friendship that everyone was questioning between them. You know, how she calls and tells her, like, your play was beautiful. It was the first time I was able to look at my life and not hate myself. And she just thanks her for, like, everything she's done and for doing the play. And it's nice to see that conversation because they both have dad issues, but just in two different ways. And how Rue tries to help her understand, like, you know, what her dad could possibly be going through as far as him wanting to be better for her. But the problem is he doesn't want to be better for himself. But I just love that whole exchange between them of Rue like examining, you know, her father's death and how she admires Lexi for, you know, figuring out a plan, even though Rue doesn't feel like she has one at all yet. I just really loved everything that was said. I thought it was beautifully written, that entire scene. It was just so great. And then it was ruined because here come Jules at the end of the play, trying to talk to Rue, like, I know you hate me, but I just want to say I love you, and I'm sorry, and I miss you. And I was like, girl, if you don't get on somewhere. I know we was all rooting for Rue and Jules. I truly could care less anymore. I do not want them together. They are toxic for one another. And the way that Rue just looked at her and kissed her on the forehead, said, Rue, thank you for walking away. Now, Jules was hurt by it, but, you know, Rue says in a voiceover that she, you know, Jules was her first love, and she just wants to remember it that way, even though she was high for the majority of relationships. So I like that she's kind of recognizing, like, maybe I really wasn't into Jules, or maybe the relationship, I mean, she was just like, I was hot child. I couldn't tell y'all what was happening in this relationship. But, okay. I know everybody be getting on me because I be like, I do think that Rue might be dead, because I thought it was weird when she said she stayed clean the rest of the school year. And then she says she doesn't know if the feeling will last forever, but she's trying. I mean, it was kind of past tense, and then it was kind of, whatever y'all want to take from it, I wouldn't be shocked by the time we get to the series finale of Euphoria, that Rue was dead the whole time. But I don't know. But what I do know is I was happy that I'm Tired was Zendaya singing it. And the fact that it's on iTunes now, because I was really upset that after episode 5 that they took it off. So I'm just happy that it's back now. But I was happy to see Lexi's play be finished and to see Lexi get some shine. I'm really upset about Ashtray and Fezco. Sam is not seeing heaven for taking Ashtray away, but I think he's going to be an Umbrella Academy, so I guess they kind of have to do that. Overall, for the finale, I thought the finale was cool. I felt like after the whole thing with Fezco and Ashtray kind of tapered down a little bit after the cat fight and the Fezco, I probably would have separated those things. But I think that I'm happy to see Rue clean, and I think it's necessary for her to be clean going into season 3, just to kind of stop the repetitiveness of some of the episodes from season 1 to season 2 to season 3. But I had a lot of issues with the finale. There were so many plots introduced this season that just didn't go anywhere. We still don't know who the missing brother is for Nate's family. We still don't know, like, what is going on with Lori? Where is this drugs? Y'all keep telling me that Jules flushed these drugs down the damn toilet, and that don't make no sense to me. You can't flush all them damn drugs down no damn toilet. That don't make no sense. I think Elliot got the suitcase. I don't care what y'all say. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say in this comment section. I don't care. That's what I know. And what else? The fact that Zendaya is not being sold and like being trafficked somewhere because Lori ain't got her money. I just need answers to these questions, because it's just a lot of stuff that was introduced that we just didn't go nowhere with it. Haven't made sense. Why would Nate turn his dad in? Like, what's going to happen with that? I don't know. Where the hell is Derek? Where is Derek? That's the only time I wanted to see Callaghan's, when we have Derek. Is the sex tape. I thought Nate told Jules that he got rid of the sex tape. But is her tape on the hard drive? Is that going to be a whole thing? I don't know. But I just feel like, I didn't feel like there was no real resolutions. It was just more questions. I felt like if you had questions after last week, you're definitely going to have even more questions. And there really is no resolution for anything outside of Cassie finally getting her ass beat, but it should have been longer. But yeah, like, and I guess the resolution on the Fezco and Ashtray thing, but I feel like this just opened up a whole nother can of worms that's going to change Fezco forever. I think the characters are in good places to actually go with deeper storylines for next season. I hope that they give more to Jules. I do think Jules, this is why I said Jules got sidelined this season, because I felt like Jules to go from her special episode to where we find her now. I feel like we just did a circle. So I don't know. I hope they figure out, Kat figure out what she's gotta do to get a real storyline next year. Give Austin Abrams everything that he wants because Ethan deserves. Okay? Give Maddie a little bit more to do too. I need Maddie to have her own life outside of Nate, outside of Cassie. And I just want a timeline to know how old are people, what year are they? I know some people are juniors, but like some of this, the math not math and the timeline not timelining. For me, I just wanted just a little more clarity, you know? But let me know what you guys thought of the season 2 finale of Euphoria. But those are my thoughts on Euphoria season 2, episode 8. All my life, my heart is yearning for a thing I cannot name. As always, my name is Sharona from Pure Weights. And if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit that notification bell, okay? All right? I love you guys 3000. And until I see you again.